I woke up at 7:50 in the morning to an alarm I set on my laptop using a third-party website. After falling asleep around 2 in the morning. Despite not getting that much sleep, I thankfully didn't feel tired at any point during my shift at Wegmans, which was from 9 in the morning to 4:30 p.m. So I had what I would consider a 7-hour shift at this point. I had a 30-minute lunch, which I took roughly from 2:30 p.m. to 3 p.m. and one 15-minute break, which I took around 4 p.m. During my 30-minute lunch, I had with a 16-ounce bottle of Upstate Farms branded whole milk, a frozen meal by Lean Cuisine, like I'm having right now, though what I'm having currently is the lemon garlic shrimp stir fry meal, and what I had then for my 30-minute lunch was the tortilla encrusted fish meal. I recall during my shift at Wegmans, I spent roughly the first hour restocking varieties of bagged apples, and then varieties of a combination of bagged and bulk pears at the front sections of the produce department. I did this as a co-worker that I view as a supervisor requested that I do so. I spent the middle part of my shift and this was the vast majority of my shift, restocking my usual banana section and hard items section of the produce department. The banana section is at the very back of the produce department and consists of a flat piece of wood raised by a sort of wood stand. Basically a big rectangular piece of wood. And on top of the flat piece of wood, there's a halfway inclined rubber staircase. And that rubber staircase is where the bunches of bananas are. The hard items section is right in front of the bananas section and consists of a few wooden displays that aren't too different from what's used for the banana section. Only these displays are placed differently from the display used for the banana section. If the banana section is this, the displays for the hard items section of the produce department are like this. And the hard items section of the produce department is different varieties of onions and potatoes. After I got back from my 30-minute lunch, during which I microwaved that tortilla encrusted fish in the break room, and then used the beige colored plastic bag my mom used to pack my lunch. I used that plastic bag to help carry the prepared lean cuisine frozen meal and the 16-ounce plastic bottle of Upstate Farms branded whole milk to the cafe part of the supermarket, which from the break room took 2 to 3 minutes of default walking. There I sat at one of the high, small, circular tables there, as that's my first choice. When it comes to sitting at the cafe part of the supermarket. and that's where I had my lunch. After I got back from my 30-minute lunch and before I took my 15-minute break, I partially restocked the mushroom section of the produce department from the mushroom runner. The mushroom section of the produce department is at the middle of the produce department roughly, and is towards the right side of the produce department, or the same side as the bulk wall. I recall at one point during my shift very briefly restocking a product, in this case a cardboard box of 1 pound bags of whole radishes with the radishes cut to have just the main bulb part of the radishes. I restocked that on the convenience wall of the produce department, which is on the left side of the produce department, as at one point a passing customer got my attention. At the time she requested that product of the produce department, it wasn't out on the floor, so I went to the back, or the section of the employees only warehouse for those who work in the produce department, to get that product for her, as at that time I recalled earlier during my shift seeing that product there while I was in the cooler section of that section of the employees only warehouse, looking for a different product that another passing customer asked if we had. I recall within the first few hours of today having two packs of Quest branded birthday cake frosted cookies, and then around 8:15 in the morning I had some scrambled eggs with a cup of plain coffee, both of which my mom prepared for me. My mom both drove me to the Wegmans I work at and picked me up from the Wegmans I work at. On the way back to my mom's place, we went on a groceries shopping trip at the local Wegmans of my mom's area. What I just had wasn't part of that grocery shopping trip. We got a new gallon of whole milk, though the glass I just had was from the old gallon of whole milk. During the groceries shopping trip, that was roughly from 4:45 p.m. to around 5:30 p.m. I opted to get things compatible with a keto diet. 2 ribeye steaks, some pork chops, though for pork chops, my mom got some gravy mix and Mystique seasoning, as that's how my mom usually prepares pork chops. But I got pork chops to get a different kind of meat, essentially, from ribeye steak. I also requested 2 bags of frozen peas and carrots, with the carrots being cut into little cubes, but they're still carrots. Regardless, my mom also got a new carton of eggs. What I've done most recently is to do some of the editing for the June 29 My Dinner video in Camtasia 2019 during the late evening and early night hours. Initially, I worked on editing the June 29 My Dinner video in Camtasia 2019 on my laptop at my setup work area that's between our kitchen and our living room. Then later on, I decided to move upstairs to my room at my mom's place. During that time period, I sipped at an aluminum can of True Energy. True being the brand, Energy being the name of the blend, which was orange mango flavored. That aluminum can was from a pack of 12 me and my mom got from the local Wegmans of her area the other day.